in the Parliament. May I also say good morning to the folks at the Canadian High Commission. They put on a lovely event, Canada Day, 159-year anniversary of Canada. And they put on an event at the residence of the High Commissioner, who was in very good form. And nice gathering. Saw a couple of friends I haven't seen in ages. And good morning again to all the staff at the Canadian High Commission this morning. Yesterday in the Parliament, the adults finally decided to stand up in the room and represent themselves as adults. May I say thank you this morning to the Member of Parliament for South Trelawney, Marissa Dalrymple-Philibert, for speaking with clarity, for speaking without rancor, and for speaking and reflecting what the conscience of the Parliament should be about, which is decency, decorum, and basic human respect. Thank you, Mrs. Dalrymple-Philibert, for that intervention. Sorely needed. And you saved the day, because it's as if nobody else saw the need to speak in the direct way you did. Desmond McKenzie spoke some weeks ago in his sectoral presentation at the start about decency. I welcome that as well. Dalrymple-Philibert went even further. Yeah? And it's heartening to know that people still believe that decency trumps everything else. May I also thank the leader of government business, Floyd Green, for also coming to the party. Perhaps it is a rediscovery of cojones, Mr. Green. But following Dalrymple-Philibert's welcome, vitally needed intervention, Floyd Green also spoke with a clarity and a force that is necessary for someone in his position as a leader of government business in the House, given how the putrefaction of the House is happening around him, and he would go down in history as the leader of the House, on whose watch everything collapsed and the body gangrened limb by limb. And history would say, well, what did you do? What did you say? Well, he spoke, and he was in full voice. Let me share with you, because it happened late in the proceedings, and I felt that it was necessary in this space to tell the country what the leader of government business in the House said after Mrs. Dalrymple-Philibert's essential intervention.
I thank the members for their contribution, and I will say that based on the last contribution from the member from Eastern Portland, I am going to cauterize some of what I have to say in reply. But, Madam Speaker and members, as we move this motion to review the standing orders, and as members have said, this gives us an opportunity to reset, to look at areas where there may be gaps and to fill those areas, to look at conventions that should be elevated to standing orders and courtesies that should be elevated to standing orders. I remind the members that as we seek to do that, there are standing orders in place. And those standing orders govern this House. And as the member from East Portland rightly said, you do get the clear impression that a number of the members have not read the standing orders, and as such act in a manner that is in direct opposition to the standing orders. And let me start on that point. The standing orders gives the Speaker the authority to rule on matters, all matters, in relation to this House. Once the Speaker makes a ruling, You may not like the ruling. You may think that the ruling is unfair or unreasonable, but the Speaker has ruled. And once the Speaker has ruled, then that ruling must be adhered to. No, there are a multiplicity of opportunities outside of this House to make the point that you do not agree with the Speaker's ruling, to make the point that you think you're being unfairly treated. But to bang on the desk, to stand, to sing in the House, that is bringing the House into disrepute. And it is lowering our collective image in the eyes of the well-thinking members of the public. It should not happen. It should not be countenanced. Saying you want to be heard and you want justice and banging on the desk after the Speaker has ruled should never happen in this House. There are so many other avenues to make that point without disregarding the rules of the House. And again, we must be clear, because the rules are clear. Standing Order 4, the Speaker shall the Speaker shall preside over the meetings of the House, and the Speaker shall have the power to regulate the conduct of business in all matters not provided for in these standing orders. 41. The Speaker in the House is responsible for the observance of the rules of order in the House, and their decision upon any point of order shall not be open to appeal and shall not be reviewed by the House, except upon a substantive motion made after notice. The Speaker is to be heard in silence. The Speaker, after having called the attention of the House to the conduct of a member who persists in irrelevance or tedious repetition, may direct the member to discontinue his speech and resume his seat. I know we say we come into this House as adults. Yes, we do. We all come into this House as elected members of Parliament. That is true. But the House has rules. And when we disregard the ruling of a Speaker, we're not disregarding the ruling of Juliet Holness. We're disregarding the office of Speaker. And it has to happen. And the member from South Trelawney said it. Regardless of any review that we do, the rules, we will have a set of rules. So those rules must be respected. The other thing that I find unfortunate is that when the Speaker makes a point, it is then colored to suggest motive. And it was done today again. The Speaker, not knowing what the member wanted to ask, not having any idea what the member wanted to intervene on, made a ruling that in keeping with the standing orders, there is no intervention on announcements. Yes, there may have been courtesies in the past. Yes, there may have been conventions in the past. But the Speaker has said it is not provided for in the rule book, and that is a fact. And as I read, once it is not provided for, the only authority is the Speaker. Now, once the Speaker says it will not happen today, it will not be countenanced, we move on. That's what we do as adults. We don't show to Jamaica that if it's not going in your favor, then you can oppose and object and try and throw off the House. That is not the right message that we're sending to children who watch this Parliament. Outside of that, the leader of opposition did something that I did not like. He gave the impression that it is because of what the question was that the question was not allowed, when the Speaker had no clue what the question was. So the Speaker's ruling had nothing to do with the Integrity Commission report, nothing at all. And we must mash down any attempt to link the two matters. The Integrity Commission report, based on the Integrity Commission, who indicated that they send the report to the House yesterday. The Speaker has said in writing that once the reports come in, they will be tabled as soon as possible. I don't think anybody can think it unusual that we're here today and the report doesn't come and it only came yesterday. But more than that, that was not a part of the Speaker's consideration. And we must be very clear that we don't attempt to mislead, that we don't attempt to manipulate the story that is being told, and that we don't further try to ascribe motive and link unconnected things for our own political gain. It should not happen, and it does not help any of us. Finally, you know, the member from St. Catherine Southeast. Maybe I shouldn't even countenance it with a response. But I just make the point again. We all decided to run for office. We all were elected. And we're elected to sit in this house. Once you come in here, you have to follow the rules. If you don't want to follow the rules, you resign your position. But once you come in this house, follow the rules of the house. You don't get up in this house and then say, civil disobedience. That is not the message. No matter how cool it may appear. Because we are disregarding the same laws that we are trying to enforce. That we are trying to build an orderly society. And all of us in here know better. And some of us pander to the public to try and get likes. And it does not help us. All of us could be doing other things. All of us on both sides of the house chose this path. And I genuinely believe that the vast majority of us chose this path for the right reason. Because we want to make a change in the lives of people. Let us, when we come into the house, let us lead by example. Let us respect and regard the Speaker, the office of the Speaker, but more importantly, respect and regard a member of Parliament who has done tremendously well, who has been elected by us to sit as Speaker, and who should not have to beg and plead for our respect. It should be given unto her because she deserves it. Madam Speaker, with that, I ask that the motion be accepted.
Floyd Green, Member of Parliament for Southwest St. Elizabeth, Leader of Government Business in the House of Representatives, speaking like a man, like a Jamaican, concerned with the optics of indecency that's on parade in the Parliament that he plays a senior role in, week out. Nothing more to say. Kudos to Floyd Green and special kudos to Marissa Dalrymple Philibert.